Welcome to everybody who is watching live. Welcome to everybody who's watching on the replay. It's really exciting to sit down and talk with you guys about this tonight. So for those of you who are new to this page, for those of you who are new to the group, I'm Laura. I am a mom of two. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I am the founder of The Lavish Method, where I get to teach women who just want to lose weight a simple way of eating that doesn't involve giving up wine and chocolate, and that also works in real life. So welcome to those of you who are just joining. As I said, welcome to those of you who are watching on the replay. We are talking about the number one health food fail is salad. So the first thing that can go wrong is it's a salad, so it's healthy. So, I use the example of you've been running around all day, you're starving, your best friend suggests just going through the drive-thru. You don't really want to say no because you don't want to be that girl who's on a diet again. And so what you do is you're like, oh, that's fine, I'll just get a salad. And so you read the menu and you pick the yummiest looking salad there because it's a salad, so it has to be healthy. And this used to be what I would do. I would pick like the apple pecan harvest crunch salad, or the taco tortilla chicken salad, or whatever sounded delicious, and not realizing that I would have been better off having like a hamburger, because those salads, those like delicious looking massive salads that are piled high with all the things, those salads basically have a lot of the time more sugar in them than a regular meal. They have like 2 meals worth of calories. Like some of them are at 1,500, 2,000 calories by the time you're done adding up all the things. And so they really don't do much when it comes to fat loss. They actually completely derail us because we think we're making a healthy choice, therefore having more unhealthy choices later because we had a salad for lunch. And meanwhile, that salad was worse than a Big Mac and French fries. So that is the first thing that usually can go wrong when it comes to salads. The second thing is the total opposite end of the spectrum, and this is where a lot of my clients fall. I think nowadays there's a little bit more awareness around the fact that the fast food salads, like the piled high salads, maybe they're not as healthy as they seem. So I think that happens less. But this issue happens more. And so this issue is low fat salad, low fat, low cal. So this is the garden salad, the side salad. It's got lettuce, it's got cucumbers, tomatoes, maybe some onions, the basic salad. And then you go out and you get a fat-free dressing because you're dieting. And so at the end of the day, you're maybe eating like 200 calories in this whole massive salad, which is not enough. And, all of those calories were coming from carbohydrates, right? Whether it's from the vegetables, the greens, the low-fat salad dressing, it's all coming from carbohydrates, which leaves you with unstable blood sugar, which leads to greater, fat storage, which leads to the hangry feeling later, which leads to, cravings and poor decisions and that entire blood sugar roller coaster that I talk about. So neither of those scenarios is healthy and is good for weight loss. When we're talking about making a salad, much like when we're talking about making anything else, we want to focus on making sure we have fat, making sure we have protein, making sure there's a good amount of vegetables, and then adding anything else that might be beneficial. So this is kind of the step-by-step how-to guide that I would go to when making a salad. So the first thing that I would do is I would choose a base. And so when you're choosing a salad base, it's usually going to be greens. So things like spinach. I got out some baby spinach here to show you guys. So this is a great buy. It keeps in the fridge. Spinach tends to last longer than like mixed greens or field greens. So we always have some baby spinach in the fridge. So baby spinach, like I said, arugula, mixed greens, shredded cabbage if you're gonna make a coleslaw type salad. There's lots of different options for the base, but that's the first thing you need to do. Decide on the base. So we've got the base. That's super exciting. Once we've chosen our salad base, the next thing we're gonna do, and this is where it starts to get fun, is we're going to pick our proteins. So when it comes to picking proteins, I've got a whole bunch here to show you. It doesn't just have to be the classic, chicken, right? And whatever protein you do, you want to make sure there's enough. So if you are falling for the classic salad thing where you just like pile your plate high with lettuce and then you throw a couple of mixed veggies on there and then like that's your salad, I want you to have the amount of greens that you would normally put on there, and I want you to double the amount of proteins and fats, because that's what's going to fill you up. That's what's going to give you the calories, and that's what's going to balance your blood sugar. It's the protein and the fat. It's not the greens in your salad. So let's go a little bit lighter on the greens. Let's just start with the base. Let's put those down in there, and then let's go crazy and add some really good protein. So I brought a couple of different sources for you just so you get an idea. I didn't have any leftover chicken, so you're not going to see that. One of the first things I got is some organic tofu. I love baked tofu. It's really easy to do. I will just marinate it in some tamari, which is wheat-free soy sauce, with some sesame oil and maybe some garlic, some ginger, some rice wine vinegar. Like, I don't measure, just throw it into a little bowl. I'll set the tofu in there, I'll slice it up, let it sit for maybe 20, 25 minutes, and then I'll bake it at maybe 400 degrees for maybe 25 minutes. And it gets kind of nice and crispy, and it's delicious, and it's really good cold, and you can use it as a great salad topper that's high protein on the go. This is also a really cost-effective protein. So, you know, if you're having a hard time, you know, with changing the way you're eating and trying to get by on less processed foods, and finding that it's more expensive to buy, you know, more protein and more fats, more healthy fats, then, you know, tofu is a really nice option to have on hand. Okay, so the other thing we always have on hand in my house is eggs, pre-hard boil eggs. I would peel them and I keep them in the refrigerator. We do 2 dozen on Sundays for the 4 of us, and they keep well for a full week in a Tupperware. But that's a really great grab and go protein that you can just pop on your salad. You can chop it up. You can even make an egg salad, you know, by like smushing up your eggs and adding some mayo. I've got that in my fat section, which I'll show you next. But eggs are a really good source of protein. So that's your other option. So we've got soy, we've got eggs, we've got leftover meat, so all those are good. The other thing that's great is tuna, right? So tuna or canned tuna or canned salmon, really great, inexpensive protein. You know, you can have it on hand, it doesn't go bad, chuck it in the cupboard, and once more, that's something really simple and straightforward that you can actually add onto your salad really quickly and up the protein factor, up the fullness factor, up your metabolic rate, because protein does that for you. There's so many benefits of upping your protein at lunchtime, especially if you're having your salad for lunch, that we just don't do. So that's a really good option as well. And then the last thing I grabbed to demonstrate protein was some Greek feta. It is made from sheep and goat's milk, so it doesn't actually have any cow milk in it. And a lot of people who don't do well with cow milk can do well with sheep milk and goat milk. So we buy this one. This is basically, I think it's from Superstore, and it's Greek feta, but this is another really great source of fat and of protein. So this is something you could definitely use, maybe not every day if dairy's not your thing, but every once in a while, right? Because if you are making a salad, you want to keep it fun and you want to keep it fresh. So these are some ingredients that you can have on hand that you can just kind of toss on and make a different salad all the time. So my rule of thumb is, you know, pick a couple different proteins. Maybe pick 2 proteins. Maybe you want some feta and you also want some leftover chicken, or, you know, you want some tuna, and maybe you also want some eggs. I don't know. Pick a couple proteins, put them on top of those mixed greens. So we've got our base, right? We've chosen our greens or whatever we have the base of our salad. Now we've got a couple different proteins, and if you only want to do one type of protein, that's fine. Just like double up on it. Put a good portion. You want to have enough protein so you actually feel full, you actually help to balance your blood sugar, you know, you actually get enough calories. These are all really important things. Can you tell I'm getting excited about this? This is a big deal. Okay. So that's been done. So after you've picked your protein, the next thing you want to do is, and this is my favorite part, this is what I spend all of my time talking about, but the next thing you want to do is you want to find your fat. You want to choose the fat that you're going to put on your salad. And I know if you've come at me from the fat-free dieting era, it's still hard to wrap your head around the fact that you need more fat in your diet, but you do. Healthy fat is just, it's integral for your hormones, it's integral for your brain, you know, it's integral for so many different things. So fat is so important for all those things, but fat is also the macronutrient that is most matched with weight loss, because fat does not spike insulin. Fat keeps your blood sugar super balanced. It digests really slowly, and it doesn't promote excess fat storage, believe it or not. And if you're here watching this, I'm hoping that at this point you believe it. So I just wanted to put that out there as a PSA in case you're new. to this community. So the next thing you want to do, and this is where a lot of people fall short with making salad, is making sure that you do put some fat in there. So I brought some of my favorite fats to show you, and there's obviously lots more options too. So the first thing I brought is an avocado. So avocados, I mean, avocados to me are like my absolute favorite fat to add. They are, you know, they're delicious. They are easy to add to basically anything. You just chop them up, you pop them on top of your salad. You've got really good quality fat. There's also really great mineral content, great vitamins in avocado. They're just like a lovely little perfect food. So, you know, chop up half of an avocado and pop that on top of your salad. Coincidentally or incidentally, while you're chopping up your avocado, you want to basically chop it like in half lengthwise. And if you're only using half at a time, keep the half with the pit. Put it in the fridge. Keeping the pit on it helps prevent it from turning brown afterwards. So that is just a little PSA on avocado. So avocado storage. So we're gonna put that away. That's one amazing fat. So the next amazing fat is nuts. So I happen to have, there we go, Brazil nuts on hand. So Brazil nuts and macadamia nuts tend to be the nuts with the best fatty acid profile and the lowest sugar content. So they are my two favorites. But really, you know, any nuts are gonna add some good quality fat and, you know, some good quality calories to your salad. So Brazil nuts are great too because they have selenium in them, which is a really, really important mineral for your thyroid, among other things. So Brazil nuts, like I said, macadamia nuts are great, almonds are fine. Whatever you've got on hand, nuts are a great way to add some good quality fats into your salad. The next one would be seeds. So I basically had black sesame seeds on hand that I was able to find to show you guys here. Interestingly enough, sesame seeds are a really good source of calcium, like really good source. So if calcium is something you're struggling to get into your diet, adding sesame seeds is a really great way to do that. And of course, sesame seeds have an excellent fat profile. They have very few carbohydrates, and most of the carbohydrates are fiber, which is a good thing. It helps feed the gut bacteria within our bodies, which is very, very important. So you could throw, you know, black sesame seeds on, you can throw pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, whatever seeds that you have on hand are totally fine, but nuts and seeds are a great way to add some good quality fat into your salad. They also make it taste better. They make it kind of crunchier, crispier. Hemp hearts are another one. I didn't grab my package of hemp hearts, but that's another great way to add some good fat and some good protein into your salad. So what I would try to do is pick like 3 or 4 of those fats, you know, throw some nuts, throw some seeds, chop up some avocado. You know, the feta I showed you doubled as a fat. It's a fat and a protein. It has both in there. And so you want a good quality fat, you want a good quality protein, and you want those greens, right? We're recapping as we go. And so then it brings me to the last few things. So the next thing, so now that you've got all that protein, now that you've got all that fat, let's go back and let's add some chopped non-starchy veggies. So this is where you just get to put in what's in the fridge, what you want to use up, what you like. My favorites are radishes. I love putting radishes in salads. You know, things like celery, cucumber. And so once we've got all of our chopped up veggies, and like I said, here you can just pop whatever's in the fridge on there. That's awesome. Now you get to dress your salad. So the dressing is another chance that you get to add some good quality fat into your salad. So what I've done is on the resource sheet that I'm going to give you guys the link to, I've just kind of thrown out 2 of my favorite salad dressing recipes. And I'm going to say recipes like this because when I make things like marinades and salad dressings, I never measure. I just kind of chuck stuff together and it, you know, taste it. And if it needs something, you can readjust and away we go. So I've given you kind of loose recipes so you can make your own salad dressings to go with. But again, like everything in my life, it's simple. Like you don't need to get it at the food processor and spend 10 minutes making a salad dressing. You can, that's awesome if you want to, but we tend to stop ourselves from, you know, making our own because it seems complicated, and in reality it doesn't have to be. So a lot of times my go-to salad dressing starts with olive oil. So I'll just grab some olive oil, and a lot of times I don't pre-mix it either. I just like mix it on top of the salad. So I'll grab some olive oil. Let's make sure this is sealed so I can turn it upside down and not dump it. And I'll pour this right over the whole mixture. And then I would grab some balsamic vinegar. There's other types of vinegar. Umeboshi plum vinegar is really delicious too. But I'll grab some vinegar, from flavored vinegar, and I'll pop that on top of the olive oil. But you want to go heavier on the oil than on the vinegar. Remember, fat is a good thing. We want to add the fat. It's an easy way to increase our calories to the point where we can actually lose weight, because remember, a lot of us aren't eating enough. And it's a great way to up the fat profile of your salad. So lots of olive oil, lots of vinegar, or like a moderate amount of vinegar, and then some seasoning. So usually I'll just throw salt, pepper, garlic, and away we go. That's a super easy way to dress a salad. The other way that I like to dress the salad, especially if you're doing more of like a creamy coleslaw like salad, like a shaved Brussels sprouts on the bottom, or cabbage, or whatever, then you can start with my favorite thing in the world, avocado mayo. So this, if you follow my videos, if you watch these lives, you know that this is one of my favorite foods. I think it's a genius product, and it's amazing. You can buy this at Costco for the best price, and it's basically mayonnaise made from avocado oil, but the ingredients are amazing, and it's such a good, healthy source of fat. So what I normally do is I'll throw like a scoop, depending on how big the salad is, I'll throw like a scoop of avocado mayo, and then I'll throw in some yellow mustard. And just like maybe a third of the amount of the avocado mayo, I'll like maybe less than that, throw some mustard in, and then I throw in some apple cider vinegar. And so I basically just mix those three things together, and then I'll, add in some salt and pepper, again, maybe a little bit of garlic, but that's it. And that makes a really tangy, kind of a coleslaw style dressing that's got a great fat profile, no added sugar, and really makes salads taste amazing. So those are two things that I would generally add, and that I feel really good about. And then the last thing when it comes to salad is I've got the fats, we've got the proteins, we've got the veg, and then I wrote on my board here, you can't really see it. Let's see if I can move this over a bit. I don't think I can. It says other. So that's the other category. And so what I brought to show you that was this is some fermented kimchi. So this one of my friends grows and ferments and like does all sorts of cool stuff. So this is some homemade kimchi, but naturally probiotic food. So naturally fermented food like kimchi, like sauerkraut, fermented beets are really good. Anything along those lines are like, I call that like, that's bonus points to me, because they have amazing quantities of good bacteria within them that when you eat them, it helps populate your guts with good bacteria. And, we know that the more studies that we see on gut bacteria ecosystems, the more far-reaching effects we discover these bacteria ecosystems have. And one of those effects, that they've really been able to tie into gut bacteria is obesity. There is a link between, weight gain, fat gain, and the inability to lose it, and, faulty gut bacteria, bad gut bacteria. So the better, we can populate our guts with like good quality, healthy bacteria, just the more we're helping ourselves. And 70% of your immune system lives in your guts. This is the worst time of year. This is a horrible year for flus, for colds. So like totally weight loss aside, helping to populate your guts with good bacteria is really, really important this time of year, because it does strengthen your immune system, which is really helpful, right? We want to do those things, especially if you're like me and you have kids bringing home all the things all week long, like all the things. So that's just another great reason to add in natural probiotics like kimchi. Like I said, sauerkraut's another good one. There's a great brand you can buy just about anywhere now, Bubby's Sauerkraut. It's delicious. You can just grab, a teaspoon, a tablespoon, pop it on the side or right on your salad. And it's a really good way to add that good bacteria. So that is it. That is my tutorial on how to build a salad that actually works for fat loss. So remember, when you're looking down at your salad, half the greens, double the protein, find the fat, right? play with your sources. It doesn't have to be the same salad every time. Just know that it's really important that your salads have a good amount of calories, that they fill you up, that they keep you feeling full for 3 or 4 hours afterwards. If you're hungry an hour after you have a salad for lunch, you are not putting enough fat and protein into that salad, I promise you, and it is not helping you in the long run. There is nothing helpful about having a side garden salad for lunch when you are trying to lose fat. It's not helpful. It will slow down your progress. It will help you plateau faster. It's not what you want to do. So if you love salads, like I love salads, there's nothing wrong with eating salads. It's one of the best ways to get all the leafy greens, all the nutrient-dense foods in, lots of different colorful veg. Like, the more the merrier, but just make sure you're building them properly.